Hello there all beautiful people and welcome to today's video. I am Dan, your friendly indie game Viking, and today I have something special for you. Back at Gamescon I did a video about Leif's adventure, the Netherworld hero from the studio One Man on Mars. The game is still in development, but I got the chance to sit down with the developer and play an unreleased part of the demo while talking to him about all the challenges and fun things about developing a game. Sounds like fun? Then you know what to do. Grab a cup with your favorite drink, this is coffee by the way, and let's watch the video. So, here we are with Leif's Adventure Netherworld Hero and with Roman. I hope I pronounced that right.
Hey there, nice to be here and thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here and thank you for letting me play this one. It's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to see what this journey now will lead to as we come into this. My boy, it's time for you to wake up. Rise, my boy. So here we are in a bed outside with a lot of ice. So how is the concept? Where are we waking up, and can you tell us a little more about why we are here?
This is the very beginning of the game, so it's an introduction to the world, but as it is here, it is not the real world, but it is a dream of life. So it is one of the main themes that life is kind of insecure, and this dream is kind of one of the themes that it's haunting him down more or less. So he's having this dream over and over again, and it's kind of connected to his insecurity a bit, but you will learn a bit more about that later in this part.
Oh, cool. So this is the first one, Thorson. Son, look at you, wandering around at night like a big hero. Do you want to prove me that you are old enough to swing a weapon? Yes, I am.
Yeah, this is kind of this is a representation of his father, Thorson, and he's kind of also already playing with the idea that Leif is not strong enough to swing a weapon. So he's kind of asking the question: Are you strong enough? Are you man enough to be an adventurer or a hero? So that's kind of the theme that this dialogue will go on a bit.
Okay, so it builds on his need also to be as strong as his father expects of him, I guess.
Exactly, and it's also like a tutorial. So when you advance, he will teach you things.
Ah, cool. Just flow by. Okay, let's see. How did you get into game development?
I think I loved playing games. This is there was main motivations. I really played a lot with my younger brother, and it kind of started with my father enjoying games as well. I think it was C64 and early PC stuff. So we had like a US Navy fighter, for example, where we played like long track flights where the plane was flying 4 or 5 hours, and we were kind of putting something on the keyboard so the plane keeps flying, and it went off and watching TV shows and came back, and then the plane crashed, so we start all over again and stuff like that. So that's kind of how everything started, and at one point in time I figured out that someone has to make these games, and these people might even get paid for doing that. And when I had this thought for the first time, I thought, wow, that is something that I totally wanted to do. And back then there was this school which was called DigiPen, I think. It was a school in Seattle, kind of founded by Nintendo. I think it was one of the first schools to trying to get professional game designers into the market. And my goal was totally to be at this school, but when I figured out how much it costs to be there, the dream died, and I was looking for different solutions to get into the games business.
He seems to want to attack me at least, and he can attack me if I jump up to him.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't follow you, so it's just flying around. So it's kind of you
Cool.
still can beat it if you want to, but only with the second attack of the hammer, because
Ah,
it
okay.
kind of goes upwards.
This part I really like. It looks really good with lowering the bridge like that. Just doing a jump.
It was an easy way to kind of introduce the sword attack without having a foe that hits back. So it's kind of an easy way or a safe way to test this. And this one is very important for fighting because the dash and the roll are kind of integral parts of the fighting system. So you can roll through any hazard when you run and do the dash or the evade button, and then you can kind of evade damage. Yeah, exactly. And then
a roll through him basically. So it's all about the distance and how close you do it in that matter. It B when you jump the wall to perform a wall jump. Huh?
You have to be quite quick, so quickly.
Okay.
So when you hit the wall, you have to jump again. So you can't jump anymore when you slide down. So
Okay, it's a
the
more
point where you hit the wall.
Interesting. This. Where is it B? Okay,
It's the same button again. The jump button.
Okay, so I need to press it. This is really fun to test. Oh, there we go. Holy. It's just me being slow, but it's a fun test. Oops. Hello there. Lucky for me, he died pretty quickly though.
Yeah, you have a very powerful sword right now. It's a tutorial. You should not be harmed too much and get frustrated. It's just here to control.
Yeah, because I didn't see a sword like this when I tried the tutorial. Oh, the other one, the demo part actually.
Yeah.
And it even looks more dangerous than the ones in the demo, so it's... Hello there.
It makes fire damage, which is part of this rock, paper, scissors thing that you kind of... if you have fire enemies, then the ice weapons do more damage and stuff like that.
So how do you plan when we're gonna find all these items? It's gonna be the storage space that limit how much you can actually carry around, or does different maps have different themes like ice worlds or fire worlds or?
Both is the case. So different maps have very, very different themes. And you can expand your weapon menu or your pouch, or more, so to speak, up to 10 slots. So if you press the weapon menu, we're gonna
that one, yes.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
It's a giant dragon there, but sure, let's have.
That was a bad timing to press the weapon. I think I have to take care that this.
Can I go? Ah! I must be able to go on his back.
Yes, exactly.
But now I'm stuck with him here until he kills me. Okay, get it. But now I will die because.
Yeah, got it.
I'm just have a tiny too little health to do this one.
Actually, I'm thinking about adding like additional ice effect that kind of comes from the ground close to his legs, to kind of indicate that you should not go to his legs like you normally do, and kind of.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's interesting thing because it's trying to guide the person playing on where is the weak spot, so to speak, in a visual way also, and or maybe with damage. I remember the spider you had in the demo, for instance, when I first met that one, and I'm like, holy shit, it just kills me all the time in the first one. And then then in my head I'm like, you have seen this one before, and I was like, I saw in the demo or the intro video you had made. You actually have a part of where where you meet the spider and you get it to drop it from the roof, basically the ice things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do.
We have one half heart left, but yeah, like a true hero.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's most of my videos I recorded. I usually say when it's like roguelite or roguelikes, I say that I will play this game until I die, and then we will stop the video. Unless it's in 2 minutes or something, then it's really hard to do it. So this looks really cool. But now we can also. Oh, it's a green goblin. Is it a green? No, it's a red. It's a bigger one than the green goblin that stole the bird in the demo. How do you plan out the levels? Do you draw them by hand first, or do you have like a story? You've found the story first and then you build everything around it, or how do you plan them out?
First, I really think about what is the core of this specific level, because for Leif's adventure I wanted to have a specific game mechanic in each level that is unique, or at least it is focused on to this game mechanic. For example, there's one level in the game that has like special plants that look like balloons, and when you cut the plants, the balloons start rising, and you can jump onto it and then rise to the sky.
That's cool.
So this level kind of has a lot of puzzles with this mechanic, and I first think, okay, what can I do with this mechanic? What are different types of puzzles, from easy to difficult to very difficult? And then I kind of plot out rooms with these puzzles. Most of the time it's just with pencil, and kind of sketch down the ideas. And when I like the idea, I'm gonna kind of gray box it in Unity directly and test play it. And when I have enough puzzles for this gameplay element, I kind of place them in the room and connect them with other level parts that I then fill with combat or platform elements that you've learned before, or cutscenes that kind of talk about the story of the game. And in the end, I have more or less like a way from the start of the level to the end of the level. And when this is kind of feeling good, that the difficulty progression is good, and the switch between combat and exploration and puzzle elements feels good, then I start to think about like pathways to kind of split off from this main path, though you might have different ways to reach your goal, or like secret areas, and kind of tuck onto the existing level. And I just replay them again and again and again, and sometimes also in co-op mode, and see if the second player is also entertained enough, until I have the feeling that the level is good enough. And it's most of the time it's a process that takes very, very long time. Maybe just because I don't plan out everything from the get-go, but more or less like I work iteratively. But it's kind of the way I like to work. Yeah, in fact, there's a big ceremony the next day, and that's also why Leif, or Leif, actually I always say Leif, which is the German pronunciation, but Leif has to be in bed to be up and so well slept to be
well rested.
Yeah, thank you.
But okay, yeah.
That's also why he shouldn't be taking part at the party. Well, he's too young anyway. Yeah.
That's understandable in a way. It's really, but as you mentioned the name, like Leif, it sounds almost like a leaf when you say it in English. For me, in Swedish, it's Leif, and it's easier, basically, for me to remember.
Yeah, first, I kind of liked the name also because it's like life adventure, so it's like life is an adventure, but it doesn't work in English, so it's kind of pointless that, and you can have an extra life and stuff like that, so I kind of like that, but it's, well,
it's hard to build on when the pronunciation of the name changes.
Yeah.
But I guess
you've got thrown out because you should go to bed.
Yeah, and we're gonna visit. He was the one that slayed the dragon, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's his older brother.
Ragnar. It's like Ragnar Lothbrok, almost. If you've seen the movie, the series Vikings, perhaps.
Yeah,
But it's also a very common name in all. It's very common in all Viking series, I must say, Ragnar.
I just like the sound. I think it feels like not brutal, but well, potent and strong and.
Yeah, and you made him really big and strong, also compared to little Leif here.
Exactly. So that's why he's looking up to him, and he wants to be like him, and that's kind of the theme of the game.
And the dragon eye, is it the moon they're talking about, or?
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, although Ragnar is pretty strong and well, tough, he is also like thinking behind things. So the belief of the townspeople is that kind of the world is on a dragon's back, and the moon is the one of the eyes. And when he's closing his eye, the dragon is sleeping. And the next day, they're bringing out the goods to the mountaintop to spend it. I forgot the proper name, but to spend it to the dragon.
Okay.
Dragon gods.
Like an offering.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. And this is kind of the story that is going on right now. So they prepare for this celebration on the next day. But Ragnar is kind of questioning the things and says, we might should do better things with these goods and not just throwing it into the dragon's abyss, more or less. So
it's a little like those older when they what is it? They always say they're going to throw someone in the volcano to make peace like with the gods, basically.
Yeah.
We're going back to. Okay, so we're going to sneak back to the tavern.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's always interesting this part when you design this part with where you can walk and where it actually automatically grabs. I think it's interesting because you have to decide somewhere how easy it is for people to fall down from stuff also, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, it's quite common these days for jump runs or side scroller, at least, that, for example, that you still can jump after you've left the platform, and it's the way as well in this game. So you have still some time after you've left the platform to do your jump, and this really helps to make the game more playable. Yeah, before you do follow this quest, go a bit to the left, because I think we overlooked it because we were talking, but when we exited the house, there was like a little squirrel running to the left. This was kind of like a lead that you can also go to the left at this point. So there's still stuff to explore on the left side. So just
I can say it's a handicap of mine, because running left for me is in a lot of games I always run to the right directly. For some reason, it's a lot of games I realize, and some starting games where they have like you run to the left first a little bit because you will pick up something important, and then you go right. I have played games where I go right directly and actually doesn't succeed with it. So if I want to drop that one, land pretty. Oh, I picked it up.
Yeah, you picked it up again. Yeah, I think the most famous example is Metroid, because it kind of was a wow factor back then that you can go left and not just right, like in Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was confusing for people that way. But this one is not as strong, but it was mighty big at least.
Yeah.
It has its purpose, I'm guessing. It's a laughing. It's the ghost, I'm guessing, without seeing it. I'm just guessing.
No, it's not the ghost. I'm talking about the weapons. So there are 3 different weapon types. There are like long weapons and long swords, and short fast weapons, long swords or axes or stuff like that. And there are spear like weapons like the fork you have. This is another little puzzle. So you definitely want to have this life expansion heart, but you can't get it this way. Let it.
But I can attack the sheeps though.
Yes, you can.
But I'm guessing that's not the goal of the.
No, but fun fact is that if you attack one sheep once, it will be afraid of you for the rest of the game. So, and whenever you approach it, it starts kind of running.
It holds a grudge against me.
Exactly.
I will bring the hammer in this one. So this one cannot, but it's a light from the sky, so I can reach it from the outside. It's just. So how come the ghost? How did you pick the ghost, so to speak, to be the companion?
I think when I first was thinking about how could the companion look like, I am pretty sure had Navi in mind, so the little fairy from Ocarina of Time, and but I didn't want to have it similar to this because it would be too much like a copy of that, and it's also gameplay wise it's totally something different, and I wanted to have something cute and kind of nice and a bit playful, and but I wanted it also to be like glowing. I think this is also a thing that this guiding fairy is doing, because it should put attention to your eye at all point in time, and therefore I wanted the object to be glowing. So this was one thing that I wanted to do, and it should look nice and playful. And so I started doing sketches of things that I find kind of fulfill these needs. And at one point in time, I ended up with the ghost like it is right now. So it was kind of a kind of standard development process. The only thing that is still lacking is he has, or she, or it has no name, so it's still called Ghost. And I'm pretty used to the name, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna change it, but maybe something that I was thinking about, that I could do like a community event, more or less, to kind of find a good name for the ghost. But yeah, as I said, I'm not totally sure if I want to change it. So, but
it's a good thing. You even have it on your merch, I saw, also on the T-shirts and stuff. So it's a really cute little ghost. So it's
cool.
I think it's a nice one.
Yeah, I kind of like when you can interact with things in the world. So I think it's kind of important to have something to damage or to break up. Oh, you found a secret sword here. Cool.
I'm just gonna drop this pitchfork. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the whole playing.
No, it's okay.
But it's a bit.
It's not needed for to get the heart. That I can tell you.
Damn it! I was hoping it was a secret good thing.
So I play stuff that can break along the way, because when you're battling with someone or something, then there's also things going kind of breaking here and there, and I kind of just like the effect that things break.
Things explode. Exactly. It adds to the action.
Exactly. There are also pumpkins and stuff like that can splatter. Actually, I see there's a bug in this demo, because whenever you smash a loot stone or a vase or something like that, the loot appears at your feet, which is not right. It should appear where the thing that you destroy is. So that's not how it should be, and it's not how it is right now, but it is in this demo. So
well. If you wouldn't have told me, I would never have known it. There you go.
I get them. You can see it.
Yeah, I get them close to me. That is a good thing. Easy to loot. Oh, I need. Haha. It's a hilarious thing that you can. What? I can push this one.
What's going on here?
I don't know. I can bring this one, but I don't know where.
But why is it rising to the air? That's strange. But you can push it. That's good.
So this will bring me to the bigger hole up here. I have decided that this will help me get in.
Perfect.
That is a really sneaky but good way, and really fun mechanic that when you pass it, it's not obvious until you break it that it actually can do that. That is really, really cool, I must say.
I really hope that that most people will kind of try to smash the snowman, because they might have learned till here that things break. But I have to look into why the snowball is going to the air. I have no idea what it is.
Is it the fun like this, if this or else, or it's a multiplier of something that's...
Maybe.
Well, it's a cool thing. No landable roof there. So now we done this, and there's pumpkins also. So it's trying to get in here again, perhaps. I need my... I want to land there. Oh, I almost did.
Yeah, actually even added footprints in front of the window, so
yeah, to make it even more clear.
Yeah.
Because this shiny... when the light is shining down and you see that one glimmering, it's actually good visual aid to that there is something up there.
And it is exactly above the door, so when you enter the room you should see it, and you might then think about how can I get it, and then this should kind of help you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also added the extra axe here, broken axe.
Yeah. So I'm still working on the introduction video that would be played here, so it should be like an intro that is kind of an illustrative style that kind of talks about the world and how it the whole background of the world, how things are, why they are the way they are, kind of in a grander scheme. This is what is missing in this demo, but it should be added quite soon.
But you attended Gamescon, right?
Yes, yeah,
so,
exactly.
Well, how was your impression of the whole thing?
I was very curious because it was the first 100% digital Gamescom, and I used the old Gamescom way, and I always kind of liked it because it was such an event with a lot of energy. You meet a lot of people and a lot of appointments and stuff like that, and everything was kind of gone. And at first I thought, well, okay, then it's not as much to do, and which is good, because then I can focus more on game development. But boy, was I wrong. In the end, it was much more to do, because I also planned to do a new trailer for this year's Gamescom, and then I was part of the Indie Arena booth, and they had a very cool system where you could do your own game booth. So you had like graphical elements that you could use a level design tool to create your own booth. So I was spending quite a lot of time to design this, and was really looking forward to meet a lot of people on this booth. But in the end, I think most visitors just didn't really enjoy running around on, I think it was over 250 booths. So most people found it more or easier to just go through the Steam list and see, okay, this game looks cool, I'm just clicking on it and then downloading the demo. So it was really a split thing for me. On one hand, I kind of liked the idea very much of this digital exhibition, and on the other hand, I think it was maybe not yet there technically, and that people maybe just said, well, okay, why should I run over this digital booth? I just can go to the Steam page and download everything. So I really hope they're gonna redo it again and kind of take the learnings from this first time and give it a second chance, because the idea is still great, I think. But then personally, I was totally happy about the visibility on Steam, and I totally missed the direct contact to.
Well, I was there, and I say, because I was a couple of years ago at TwitchCon in Berlin, and it's a really different thing when you're there with, like, you meet up friends and you go around to a booth and you just hang out and you're listening to people talking. It's something that drives you, you know, if they run a big thing, and you get a little bit drawn to the sound of it also. And when I was walking around on Gamescon or this virtual indie booth thing, it was fun to see all the characters people had when they came, but it was also like, okay, here is 3 people. I wonder who's a bot and who is actually a developer, and how should I approach them with my character. And so it was a little, and how do we communicate when we get close to each other. So I saw a lot of people when I was sitting there just watching the screen that were like circling outside of the booth all the time, but they never really went in. They were like, no, not now, I'm going to try it a little bit later. It was really fun to see them, but I can understand the challenge for them also to actually work up the nerves, go out and talk to a developer actually face to face in that way, which is a bit different. They should be safer, but it's still in a whole different kind of challenge, is my guess for them. But I'm really looking forward to see what they will do next time also. It can be a really interesting thing.
There were some cool scenes where I was observing my booth quite a lot during the exhibition period, and there were cool things that happened. That maybe a group of people, they just came in and chatted with each other, but I think most of the time they used different means of communication and didn't use the tools that the game gave them. So I didn't really notice when they talked about, well, maybe this is a cool looking booth, or I don't like it, or whatever.
No, it's hard to know.
It was really, I didn't get any feedback, and this was really a challenge to get feedback, because normally this is the most important thing when you show your game, that you want to learn what are the people thinking about your game. Do they like it? Do they have difficulties with enemies and stuff like that? So this was or is still a big challenge to get this feedback. So I'm totally happy that I have the opportunity to see you play the game and see where you struggle and where
struggle. I can do a lot because I realize it's a fun thing when you start recording it, because it's sometimes it's like your brain, half of your brain shuts off when you start recording. Because if I can sit to play like casually by myself, and it's like I understand this puzzle directly, but as soon as you start also using to talk and think ahead, and suddenly you're like, I don't know what this puzzle wants from me. Maybe I should have read the note that I passed, and then you have to go back, and it's a fun challenge. However, it was really fun to play your game back then also, because I thought that it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. But when I met the spider, for instance, as I told you before, it was like somewhere in my mind I remembered I seen something about this, and I had to just die once to how great it was there. You have to make the ice from the ceiling fall down to kill it. It's no use for me to actually try to do something else.
Yeah, but I really know this situation, because when I don't know, I work together with someone on the same screen, and he knows about the things that we're doing and I don't know, and he tells me, yeah, you have to click there, and then I always feel like I'm the most stupid person on the world, because I don't find the thing that he's pointing me towards. And I think it's kind of similar when you stream a game and the guy that kind of created it sits on the other side and goes, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and you always get a little bit like, okay, I know I can ask him about the answer, but it's not cool enough to do it, and it's a balance between there also to find like the middle ground of, hey, I can prove myself worthy to play this game, but I will not at least get stuck in the first thing, and it's a fun challenge. We got stuck. Here comes the father. He's really big and strong, I must say. So now we will build up on this, that Leif is not that strong to be able to handle himself, basically.
Yeah, it is kind of the reasoning for this whole introduction scenery, to kind of set the stage that you are aware that you're kind of still looking for your place in life, and what your deficits are and stuff like that. So it's kind of the whole point of this introduction, next to kind of getting the player to learn the controls and stuff like that.
That is amazing. And not everyone can be a warrior. That is a fantastic text, by the way. But it's a good reminder for you also to know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Unless the shaking didn't remind you about that. So it's now it's time to go back to the village because we already explored here. So I have the fancy things. So let's see what the father. He says he runs really fast, I must say. Adding to this whole
small but fast.
Insanely muscular
There's also
build.
a story behind it. I'm gonna talk about it after the next scene.
Hey, I'm running. Dragonhorn hasn't been used for ages. He runs away. Come on. It's okay. There we go. It's the frost monsters. Oh, and she's throwing pumpkins.
These are phantom warriors, and it's also that you can't harm them with normal weapons. So you can see that they try to attack them, but they don't do any damage. I
must give you credits also for go to the summit of Mount Name placeholder. It's amazing. Let's hope his sword is capable of getting rid of these intruders. Look at those brave men. Their weapons don't do any damage, but nonetheless they stand and defend. Leif, hurry, get your brother from the mountaintop. The whole village is counting on you. I also want to attack them, but now I'm guessing I'm going this direction.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where the demo ends. From here on, the first level would start, and then you have to travel to the mountaintop where you meet your brother, and then things starting to get crazy. And thereafter you meet the ghost, and then from there on you can play it in co-op, or you have both characters to play together. So this
that's really cool.
Where the game really starts, in fact.
But you know what? Let's not end this journey here right now. You have got to see the game and the story and the awesome gameplay, and hope you check it out. But so to give you a chance to experience even more amazing indie games, I have added another video that I think that you will love to the upcoming end screen. So I will see you there, and until next time, stay safe and stay awesome.